Okay. And
Oh, what a morning.
I know. Okay.
Even just doing this, I feel it so much in my hamstrings still.
I'm so excited you guys are joining. This is so fun. It's like, oh my gosh, I've been excited to do this. So this is my little mini microphone. I have a studio at home. And I have a little room that I dedicate to all of this. So I have a mic.
Nope, Terry, down, down. Terry, no jumping, no jumping.
Good girl. Good girl.
Hi.
Good morning.
Hi.
Hi, Wendy. Okay. I know this is like a lot of equipment here, everyone.
All right.
Do you need that closer to you? Because I can bring that on the small table.
Oh, yeah, maybe.
We have this or that one.
Oh, yeah, that would be perfect.
Which one?
That little
That
one
Okay.
is probably okay.
Okay.
Yeah, this is great.
This.
This is probably perfect because I just need to be on. There we go. Okay.
Everyone got their kids off for Halloween. Well, you guys don't have to sit on Halloween.
Oh, wait, how? Perfect. Yeah, this is a black house.
Carrie, get your face out of there.
Carrie is like, what is
Happening?
happening?
Come on.
And 7.
Okay. Well, thank you guys for your patience. Setting up. My name is Becky.
Hi, Becky.
And I'll be taking you through a flow today. I've been a certified teacher for about 2 years and been teaching primarily online. So my students are, all over the place in Northern California, a lot in San Diego. So we all just get aligned and do this about once a week, and it's different times. And I just do it for fun because I love teaching. I love being a part of just the practice of trauma-informed yoga. And trauma-informed yoga focuses a lot on using props and blocks and things like that. So we don't do any like super intensive type of exercises. I'll usually say something like a phase 1, phase 2, or phase 3 type of pose. But right now I'm just going to ask you guys, is there anything in particular you guys want to like do or work on or anything?
Lower back.
Yeah, lower back. Yeah. Okay.
Stretch. Just
We're not good at stretching. We do a lot of weights and running, but we don't stretch.
I love it. Okay.
Hip flexors as well.
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. So this will be great. I'm going to orient my mat to so kind of towards you guys so I can see you a little better. So we're going to start in a comfortable seated position. We're just going to have some grounding breaths for the moment. Maybe choose to close your eyes or keep them open. Inhale deeply through your nose. And exhale. Another time, inhale. Exhale. 2 more times at your own pace. Feeling the earth beneath you. Maybe pulling the kind of fleshy parts from underneath you to create more space and grounding to connect your body to the earth. Maybe just feeling yourself in this space right now. On your mat. Noticing the sounds around you. Just be present here. Next inhale, bring your hands to heart center. Go through some sun breaths. Choose to open your eyes if you like, so you can see what I'm doing. You're going to inhale, stretch your arms up to the sky, steeple. Exhale, round your arms, sweeping the air around you, hands back at heart center. Inhale, and then exhale. 2 more times, your own breath and your own pace. Bring your hands to the floor to gently touch the floor. One hand up, stretching up towards the sky. Inhale, maybe look up towards the sky. Look at that beautiful rose. And exhale, down towards the ground. And if it's calling to you, maybe open up to the sky, open your heart to the sky. But if that's too much, you go ahead and revert your eyes, look down at the floor, but you have options here. And the way you orient your eyes can change how it feels in your body, whether you're looking up towards the sky or down towards the floor. And then exhale, bring both hands up. And then exhale, one hand down, do the same thing, inhale up. And then exhale. Maybe again, choosing to look down at the floor, up at me, or towards the sky. Bring both hands up on the next inhale. You're going to stretch up to the sky and lower down to the earth. And this is where we're getting into that nice lower back here. And maybe choose to rock side to side if that's kind of calling to you. Just gently. You don't have to, if this is feeling like too much, walk your hands closer. And just start small. Another thing that I do is if I had blocks, and if this is too much for people, I would put the blocks right in front of me or a chair or something and hold on to that, and it does the exact same thing. Excellent. Go ahead and walk your hands back up. So seated, and you're going to switch the orientation of your cross. I like to make everything even, Steven. So we're going to do this exact same kind of stretchy flow, but with a different cross. So bring your hands together, heart center, inhale, up, exhale. Twice more. One hand down to the floor, extend your opposite hand up, and then release. Heart up to the sky, push back up, big stretch, lower your opposite hand down, inhale, stretch up, and then release down to the floor. Up towards the sky, maybe open up that heart. It's calling to you, pushing that up, both hands, stretching up, and then lower your body down to the floor. And maybe rocking a little side to side. Okay, walk those hands back up towards seated. Extend one leg out. I'm choosing to do the right first. We're gonna inhale, extend up. And normally I'd have a block here because my elbows are a little short and I don't like to completely go down the floor. It's too much of a stretch for me, but this is what you'll want to do instead, especially if you haven't stretched too much. Notice I'm just kind of putting this elbow right here. I'm using that as support. And then I'm inhaling up. And this is totally enough. You don't have to do any more than this. And this is perfect. If you want more, all you have to do is just kind of simply take a look at those toes, and your toes are going to be flexed up to have an active pose and posture. And then you can start to kind of like move down into that if you like. If that's too much, again, come back up, just arm at a 6 o'clock here, or I guess what is it, midnight? You know what I mean? And then you start to lower down. Okay, now release those hands, opposite side of your calf. You're almost peeking them a little bit here. Again, your toes are flexed up, and I'm noticing too, my elbows are like kind of hunching over. Hi, welcome. Thanks. And so what you're going to want to do is push your scapula on your back so that you're just kind of getting your posture pretty straight. And then notice my hands are kind of moving back towards my thighs. So this is enough. Again, we're just getting into this posture and positioning. And then you start to lower down. And notice I have a little micro bend too in my knee. So it's not completely straight. We don't want to totally crush ourselves as we're getting back into some of these stretches. We don't want to overstretch. And then as you do that, you just keep doing that. Breathe up, and then you just release inch by inch. But if you want more, of course, you can go to your toe and you can just go for it. But you have options here. And that's what this practice of trauma-informed yoga is that I teach. We don't just like completely go into the pose and posture. We take steps into it. And it's about your body, your comfort level, what works for you, not about what anybody else is doing around you. Okay, go ahead, release that, walk that back, and we're gonna switch sides. Okay. Notice one side feels different than the other. Extend that foot up. Again, elbow to the thigh, stretching up to the sky. Just settle here and just see how this feels. And when you're ready, just turn your attention to those flex toes, and then you can release those hands down either side of your calf. And as you're ready, even though if you need a micro bend, you can do that. You can start to walk closer to your toe, back, micro bend. Just feel what this feels in your body. Is this comfortable? Is this too much? Go ahead and release that. Walk that back. Bring the knees in, and then we're going to move to our tabletop position. So we're going to bring our hands close to this. Okay, bring the hands just right in front of you. Get into this, just your comfortable tabletop. Spread out. My wrist is just right underneath my shoulder, and I'm taking a look at my knees and just kind of finding this comfortable, just neutral position. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to peek my toes, and then I'm going to start doing some gentle cat-cow, starting with the cow, inhaling, and then exhale. Inhale, cow, and then exhale. Inhale, and then exhale. And then on this last exhale, we're going to do just some kind of like gentle rolls. Start going towards one side, choosing to go towards the left. And then if you want to just kind of accentuate that a little more, you can make some really big circles with your body here. But just the point is for you to have this kind of freestyle flexion and movement. Now switch sides, start with small circles towards the opposite side, and then maybe start to grow those circles a little bigger. Maybe moving from almost a upward dog, pushing to a child's pose, whatever feels right for you in this pose. Take a few more breaths at your own pace before we all meet back in our tabletop position. Okay, as you're ready, we're going to stretch our right arm or left arm, whatever you like, up towards the sky. And we're going to do what's called thread the needle. We're threading this right underneath, outstretching that arm. You're just going to chill here for a moment. If you want more of a stretch, take that outstretched arm and you can move it right behind you so that your hand is resting on top of your thigh for a little bit of a bind. If you're choosing to do the bind, open your heart up to that nose. Go ahead, if your arm is outstretched, bring it back towards your face. Push yourself back up. Bring your arm up to the sky. And then release it back down to the floor. And do the opposite side. Inhale up and thread the needle. Maybe outstretch your arm, or maybe choose to do the bind. And as best as you can, if you choose to do the bind, open your heart up to the sky. Release your bind if you're in a bind. Hand back to your face, stretch that arm nicely up. Bring yourself back to neutral. Now we're going to work on some balancing. We're going to extend maybe our left arm out and then our opposite leg. Find our focus. Maybe you're looking about what's in front of you. Maybe you want to look out towards your fingertips. Another inhale, you want to rise up. Maybe with another inhale, you want to rise up just a little more. And then release and back down to the floor. Push yourself back into child's pose just for a little mini reset before you bring yourself back up so that we can do the other side. When you're ready, extend your opposite arm out, opposite leg. Find your focus, find your balance. Next breath, rise up, release, holding that spot. Another breath, rising up. And go ahead and release that back down to the floor, pushing your way down. And you take child's pose. Bring yourself back up when you're ready into tabletop. Extend your right leg out behind you. As you're ready, we're going to release it all the way down to the floor. Feels like perfect. And if you like, go ahead and bring yourself back down on your elbows. You can interlace your fingertips, or you can bring your head down to the floor. Find a few breaths. Bring your hands back down, pushing your way back up. Extending that leg right behind you and moving it all the way to the opposite side. Take a look at that foot and maybe find your side stretch a little more. And if you want to, you can go on your elbows in this one too. And a little more. Go ahead, bring yourself back up. Release that leg behind you. Back into your tabletop. Ready, extend that opposite leg out behind you. And moving it to your side body. Ready, you can release your arms. Side stretch here. Your inner thigh stretch. Ready, bring your hands back to the mat. Leg up and back, all the way through center to the opposite side, finding that stretch. Go ahead, release that back to center. We're going to transition our leg into some of our standing poses. So find your way, get ready to move into a downward dog. Bringing your knees out very gently. Our first downward dog. We're just going to start pedaling out our legs a little bit, pedaling out our calves and feet. So find that gentle motion. Maybe stretching into that dog a little more. Stretching your back, maybe rolling your back side to side, saying yes, no, just getting that neck all stretched out. And on your next inhale, raise your right leg behind you. And when you're ready, we're going to bring it knee to right elbow. And then release back up. Stretching up. And then next one, knee to right elbow. Before we do one last one, stretch it up. Knee to elbow. And release your foot between your hands. Great. Excellent. Get into this lunge. And again, normally I would have blocks even in this position to raise myself up a little bit. To get into this first lunge, and if you want, you can even start to bring yourself up by hanging out and resting on your knee. And just take notice of how that back leg feels right now. When you're ready, bring yourself up to prayer pose. Find that breath. Bring your hands up. Release. 2 more times. Last time. Back to prayer. Before you twist, left elbow to right knee or whatever side you guys are doing. If you want to take this a step further, you can extend your arms out. If that's too much, hands at heart center. 2 more breaths. And then release. Hands to heart center. Hands back down to the ground. Or you kick your leg out. And then bring yourself to a little mini rest before we do the next side. Hands, move your way into downward dog. When you're ready, kick up that opposite leg. Knee to left elbow or whatever your elbow is that you're working on. Stretching up. Knee to elbow. Last one. Elbow. Bring that foot down. finding this lunge. The breath. Or right before you bring yourself up to your knee. Way, hands at heart center. We're gonna inhale. Inhale. Stop for a moment before you twist. Excellent. Bring yourself back up. And then release your hands to the ground. Stretch back. Into your downward dog. Go ahead and let's walk our way back up towards our hands. And then gently roll ourselves back up. Find your mountain pose. Bring your hands. Are you guys okay in the sun or do you want to move? Okay. We're going to move into our tree exercises. So find your grounding in tree. We're going to start with, are you guys okay?
I'm fine.
Okay.
I like it a little bit too.
Okay.
That's good.
Yeah, my eyes.
Okay. When you get into your tree, we're just going to get into our just kind of neutral stance. Just feel out how it feels with your feet grounded right now. You're going to want as much surface area as possible on your feet touch the ground. And the tree strength is always coming from the hips first. So you guys, I'm sure done tree before, but you have the option of just propping it up like a kickstand, or to your calf, or bringing it in your lotus, but not on your knee. So those are your options here. So figure out what tree you want. We're gonna hang out in that position for a moment. Find your tree, find your pose, find your posture. And, I usually hang on to my hips first so that I can maintain my balance and focus. And it reminds me that my strength and my tree is really from the hip down. And as I build that strength, then I start to extend my branches. And then maybe I want to go into a prayer pose. But find whatever position works for you. If you'd like to extend your branches, do so. If you want to go into prayer pose, do so, but find your fullest expression of your tree and just hang on to this for a few more breaths. Fall out of it like I did. And that's totally cool. Just get right into it. Excellent. Go ahead and release those branches and release your tree and shake it out a little bit. Ready? Get the wet spot and a dog.
Just kidding. Sherry, show it's happening.
Let's get ready to go to the opposite side. Maybe kickstand your foot. We're at your calf. We're in your half lotus. You're ready. Find that stability in your lower half. Go ahead and extend
those arms out and those branches. Find whatever is your fullest expression of your tree. You're ready. Go ahead and release those branches. Release the legs. Just kind of shake it out a little bit. Okay. Now we're going to take one giant step forward on our mat. Move into our just kind of warrior one type position here. So if you're familiar with that warrior one stance, normally it's instructed to get your ankle or your heel and kind of line it up with the arch of your back foot. And your knee is typically over your ankle just to keep that protection here. And so just kind of feel out your stance and take a look. It's kind of a 90-degree angle in front. Just get into whatever proper warrior stance feels good for you. And if this is too much, there's a way you can widen it a little bit to make more room for your hips. And then inhale, stretch your arms up. Maybe release those shoulders further on your back. You should be feeling just the strength in your legs right now. And maybe your quads are really feeling it. And maybe your head is stretching longer, feeling your neck elongate. And then go ahead and release that. One more time, inhale, feeling that again. And before you release into your warrior two, extend the warrior out into our side ankle pelvis. Maybe opening up towards the sky. Excellent. Go ahead, release that. Hang on, slide that hand back to thigh. Excellent. Go ahead and release. We're going to switch our warrior out. We normally just like switch it opposite sides. I'm going to actually that might work. I might do it this way. You guys so you can see me. Okay, go ahead and take a look at your stance. Make sure you're just kind of lining up pretty well. You need to widen to make more space for your hips. You can do that. But the warrior usually starts from that alignment and then you can open up. Okay, find your knee. Take a look at that knee. Inhale up. As you inhale up, maybe even lower down. Great, excellent. Next breath. Feel your shoulders just kind of melt down away from your ears. Then release that. One more time. Just feel even the difference in that second one. I think when we usually get into our first posture, especially one of strength, like a warrior, the second one feels like even more powerful. And then when you're ready, go ahead and release into your warrior two. Maybe just take a quick peek over that extended finger in your warrior. Just feel that strength. Ready. Top forward a little bit, and then you're going to do that extended side angle here. Opening up to the side.
release, back to warrior two, and then we're going to do your countdown stretch here. Go ahead and release that. Now we're going to find our way into our triangle pose. So extend those arms out. And then you're going to talk your way. Maybe your hand, back your hand is on your calf. Maybe it's touching all the way down to the floor. I usually, again, use a block. A triangle. When you're ready, release that top hand to meet the bottom hand down to the floor. And then you're going to work your way into revolving triangle. And go ahead and release back down to the floor. Extend that arm up. And then move your body back. Now switch sides. Triangle, tick-tock. And bring that arm back down to your foot. And extend. Long triangle. Release that hand back down to the floor. Extending opposite hand up. Bringing yourself back. For neutral pose. Shine yourself like a star. Extend those toes out towards the corners of your mat. Fingertips out towards the sky. Radiate just like a star. And then fold yourselves over. That breath. Maybe shake your head yes and no. If you want to, start to walk your hands towards one foot for side lunge. Get even more perfect. Move those hands through center towards the opposite foot. Back to center. Interlace your fingertips behind your back. Release down to the floor. A modification for this, if this is too much, is you hang on to opposite elbows. And that's also an option. Bring your hands back to center and then heel toe yourself back up to this forward fold. Let's work our way down to the floor for seated. And then do what time it is. I want to make sure I'm not going over.
It is 9:16.
Okay. All right, cool. Okay. So now we're going to do some, we're going to work into some abs. So as you're ready, let's move ourselves into, we're just kind of like generous bend here. You're going to extend your legs out. You're going to lower as much as you can, as much as it is comfortable for you.
options here. You can choose to raise your legs just a little bit if you want, or you can just keep them here. We're just going to hang out here for a moment. A few breaths before we transition. Go ahead and release. Now for a little mini challenge, go ahead and lower back down and just extend one leg out or both of them. And then lower back just a little more. Feel the shake, yes. In bar class, it's like the shake is the best. That's how you know it's like working. Okay, go ahead and release back. We're gonna do that on the opposite side. I'll go ahead and lower back down. Shake, shake, shake. Shake, shake, shake. And release back down. Okay, not done yet. All right, so extend those legs out. And then bring yourself actually back to your, on your back. Extend your legs into a 90-degree angle. We're going to go ahead and do some gentle sit-ups here. This way. Okay. So let's go for 20 independently. And then rest when you are done. I'll know you're done. And bring yourself back up. Just do a little roll on your back, gentle rolls, where you bring yourself back up into your boat pose. We're going to extend our legs out once again. We're going to work our way to the side, the left side, and then the right. Maybe like you're holding a giant exercise ball. And release and rest and reset. And do that once more. Hands out. Bring those legs out, or you can keep them on the floor if you want, if that's better. You have options. Again, I know you guys also do a lot of strength training, so definitely don't overdo it. And then work your way to the side. Like you're holding that giant exercise ball. Release. Reset. Lower yourself down all the way to the ground. Outstretch your arms right behind you. And maybe just choose to windshield wiper those legs a little side to side, left to right. When you're ready, keep your legs bent. Extend maybe your right leg out. Up, like you're stomping on the sky. And then extend that bottom leg out, and then do a gentle twist towards your left side body. And maybe extend those arms too to a T shape. And another way to use a prop too in this kind of position, I would normally use blocks. I would elevate my foot 2 blocks up so that I could have a more comfortable side stretch here. Maybe choose to look behind you. And this is one of the best stretches for IT band. It's so hard to get to, especially if we're sitting a lot at our computers or our desks. This is an impossible area to stretch, but it feels really good. It helps alleviate some of that lower back pain that you guys are talking about, and some knee pain as well. Extend that foot back up. stomping on the sky and then release. And do it on the opposite side. Extending your left leg out. Flattening that other leg, straightening out that other leg before you stretch towards your opposite side. Maybe you're choosing to look behind you. And breathing. I forget to breathe sometimes. Just remind yourself to breathe. Bring it back up. Center like you're stomping on the sky. Lower down. I'll bring your hands towards your sides. Maybe just kind of gently, lightly touch your heels. That's how you know you're kind of at the right range here. And flatten your hands, palms towards the ground, and then push your way up into a bridge pose. Not a full bridge, just a mini bridge. And if you'd like, you can start to walk your shoulders in close together. You should not be resting on your neck. You want to protect your neck in this position. The back of your head should be touching the ground, and you should be able to breathe comfortably. You should be able to talk if you need to. And then when you're ready, you can continue to walk your shoulders underneath you a little more. And then release down to the ground, vertebrae by vertebrae. We're going to do that 2 more times before we move into a shoulder stand. So when you're ready, fingertips kind of touching your heels, hands planted to the floor, and then begin to bring yourself gently up into your bridge. And when you're ready, start to walk the shoulders closer in. Making sure that your head is rested on the floor, not your neck. Onto this a little more. Maybe go a little higher, a few more inches higher if you can. And if you need to support your lower back, you can with your hands. A few more breaths. And release. Vertebrae by vertebrae, down to the ground. And then on this last one, we're going to move up and then shoulder stand. Okay, so same way that we got into it the last time. Moving away to bridge, walking your shoulders in. And then maybe pointing your toes to find a little more height. So you're finding that height, maybe you're walking back a little bit because you're gonna wanna hang on to your lower back and find this resting point. And if it feels safe and comfortable for you, you can extend one leg up towards the sky. If it feels good, you can do the second leg up. And only if it feels good and safe for you. Take a look at everybody. Oh, no, you guys are good. You definitely don't have to do it. Okay. And then release into plow pose. By moving your legs all the way behind you. Maybe your toes are choosing to touch the earth behind you. Then you're going to release very slowly, vertebrae by vertebrae, down to the ground. Now grab
heels for a last final pose before we move into our Shavasana, our happy baby pose. Grab those arches, move side to side, and maybe rolling your lower back too. Side to side, so almost like a little mini massage. This is what I do when I'm having some lower back pain. I'll get into this position and just kind of massage my lower back on the concrete or the carpet. It feels really good. Excellent. Go ahead and release and bring yourself into your final resting pose, which is your Shavasana. Getting as comfortable as possible. Your hands are up towards the sky, accepting energy in from the universe. Or maybe you're choosing to put your palms down to the ground. Just form an introspective, energy-saving posture with Shavasana. Choose your adventure. Take the last couple minutes that we carved out for ourselves today for self-care. Not thinking about what we need to do next, just being here and present for these last few minutes. We begin to take some deeper breaths. And lie back into the body. And to gently wiggle your fingers and your toes. If you'd like to continue to stay in Shavasana, I invite you to please do so. But to roll yourself to your most comfortable side, maybe cradling your head. There's the option to do that as well. Ready, push your way up into seated posture. Today. My sincerest gratitude to you all for joining this class today. It's been an honor and a privilege. This is my first in-person class in the last year, and it has been overwhelmingly beautiful for me. I'm so grateful that you guys invited me to come. Thank you from the bottom of my heart. The light in me shines, honors, and recognizes the light in each of you. Namaste. Namaste. Thank you guys so much.
Thank you.
It's so awesome.
Oh.